It's time to decide whether we're going to pick up Pokemon Scarlet or Pokemon Violet. And as far as I can tell, there are only two main factors to actually consider here. One of those is the legendary Pokemon, primarily because you will be riding it everywhere in the game, right? And it seems like there likely will not be any flight like we've seen in previous games where you just choose a location to fly through and you're instantly there. It looks like you are going to be manually flying to every location, which I think is cool because it makes it a lot more dynamic, but it means it's going to be a lot more important which Pokemon you choose for your legendary Pokemon, because presumably that is the Pokemon you're going to be riding around for the next 3 years, potentially, right? So that's number one, that's variable number one, and I think it's actually going to be a very impactful variable for me personally. And then variable number two, of course, is the version exclusive Pokemon. We're going to focus on this first, though, because this is interesting, because with the version exclusive Pokemon, right, like you're going to have Pokemon that are only obtainable in either Scarlet or Violet, but of course you can trade Pokemon caught in Violet to Pokemon Scarlet, so as long as you have a way of doing that, it won't be quite as important, whereas this, like, you will be able to trade Koraidon to Violet and Miraidon to Scarlet, but it's unclear, and I lean towards this not being the case, is I don't think you're going to be able to ride Miraidon in Scarlet, even if you have it traded over, and I don't think you're going to be able to ride Koraidon in Violet, even if it's traded over to you. It could be, and like hopefully it is, right? But you can't really take that chance, right? Because it hasn't been confirmed, and in all likelihood, you will be stuck with this one, right? So we have to choose as though that is the case. So it kind of makes this the real permanent choice to make, right? So let's go ahead and take a look at them.
Koraidon and Miraidon. You'll rely on one of them as a partner in your adventure.
When they were first introduced to me, I actually liked Miraidon better myself, particularly because I liked the blue color palette was more appealing to me, but I've kind of been liking the look of Koraidon, the red one from Scarlet, a little bit better as time went on. I think the problem that I'm having now, because I actually really like the red with the blue, the purple, and the white, I think the Pokemon actually looks really cool. My problem is that they added these wheel kind of air sacs on the Pokemon that expand when they go to ride. I think it looks really silly.
And together you'll dash across grassy
like the electric
fields.
one actually has wheels that works like a motorcycle, right? But this one, it has these air sacs that look like wheels, but then it just runs on its legs anyway. Whereas this one, like obviously, like this is supposed to be like Scarlet is the ancient game, and then this one, Violet, is the futuristic game, right? So this one has a futuristic look to it, where it's got like the motorcycle look with the wheels turning, and then it has like the jet propulsion, which looks nice. I mean, it doesn't necessarily look like a Pokemon necessarily, but it looks nice, right? Whereas this one, like if they didn't have this air sac tire deal going on, I think I would prefer Koraidon, but because of this, I think it's just going to bother me too much, so I'm definitely leaning towards Miraidon here.
Move across water and glide through this.
Miraidon looks pretty cool having like the wings here, but yeah, I think I'm on board with Miraidon myself here.
Your partner can change forms as needed while you explore every nook and cranny of the region with them.
Yeah, I mean, so far, as the most permanent feature, I'm leaning towards Violet. But let's go ahead and take a look at the version exclusive Pokemon, and we'll see how that lines up. So we're going to be taking a look at the Pokemon that are confirmed to return, Pokemon that were missing in Sword and Shield, Pokemon that were added to the game in Pokemon Legends Arceus, and then additionally Pokemon that were leaked to be returning and Pokemon that are leaked to not be returning. So we're going to be taking a look at all of those things here. And we're also going to be looking at Pokemon that have a history of being version exclusive, particularly Pokemon that trend towards being exclusive to either the version 1, like Scarlet, Sword, Sun, Ruby, X, Black, Gold, Diamond, or the second game, which would be like Violet, Shield, Moon, Sapphire, Y, White, or Silver, okay? So that's what we're going to be doing. We've gone ahead and added all the data in and made some predictions based on all the data that we have. So as you can see on the screen here, there are Pokemon that are extremely likely to be version exclusive. And I guess at first we should take a look at the Pokemon that are confirmed to be version exclusive, right? Pokemon confirmed to be version exclusive are in Scarlet, Tyranitar and Stonjourner, in addition to the new Pokemon. And in Violet, we have Silamence and Ice-Q, okay? So those are Pokemon that are currently confirmed as of making this video. So in Scarlet, these Pokemon are most likely to be version exclusive if they are in the game. So we've got a good amount of Pokemon here. Most importantly, Honchkrow and Arcanine. So Murkrow is one of my favorite Pokemon in VGC. So having Murkrow very likely tied behind Scarlet is a bit of a draw, and I also really like Arcanine. Arcanine was actually on my first VGC I ever made way back in 2009. So love me some Arcanine. So that's a big big draw for me. We also got Scizor, which means Scyther, and Scyther looks like it's going to be quite interesting with Terastallization. Kecleon is kind of an interesting one. Potentially Arbok coming back could be cool. Okay, and then additionally we have some other Pokemon which are more likely to be version exclusive in Pokemon Scarlet than version exclusive in Pokemon Violet. And here we've got some Pokemon like I like Scrafty. Hydreigon is in this bucket here, and Hydreigon looks like it's going to be really powerful. Tornadus, Prankster Tailwind stuff, yeah. Whimsicott as well, more Prankster Tailwind. These are the primary Prankster Tailwind users in the Sword and Shield format, so having them both in this bucket is kind of concerning. Kartana is a bit of a Titan. Buzzwole could be kind of interesting with Terastallization. You got Gastrodon and Credilli, both Storm Drain users. Breloom is going to be an absolute nightmare. Okay, Primate, and the Primate has its new evolution potentially, so that's kind of interesting. Yeah, Quagsire, which is a regional variant. Okay. So yeah, if some of these Pokemon are your favorites, it might be a good idea to choose Scarlet. Although just a Pokemon is on this list doesn't mean it will be version exclusive, and additionally, a lot of these Pokemon are not confirmed to be in Scarlet and Violet as of making this video, so take it with a grain of salt. And of course, if one of these Pokemon does turn out to be version exclusive and you have the other game, it is easily obtainable by trading with someone that has the other game. So now we'll go ahead and take a look at Pokemon most likely to be exclusive to Pokemon Violet. So we got right off the bat two of my favorite Pokemon, Lugia and Ludicolo. Yeah, I love those Pokemon. Ninetales, Alolan Ninetales is pretty cool. Stantler, which could turn into Weirdeer, could be pretty great. Sandslash pairs nicely with Ninetales for some hail stuff. And then we've got Pokemon that are more likely to be version exclusive to Pokemon Violet and Scarlet. Heracross, so one of my favorite Pokemon. Garchomp, which is also a very strong Pokemon in VGC. Toxicroak, which is very cool when paired with some rain teams. Goodra, I like me some Goodra. A Ranguru, if that's in Scarlet and Violet with Fire Terra type Torkoal, this is gonna get nasty. Oh, Lilligant, which is confirmed to return, which again, paired with Torkoal. Manectric, one of my favorite Pokemon. Parasect, I think is going to be very cool. Having access to Spore, Rage Powder, and Wide Guard is very cool. And also having Dry Skin with the ability to terrestrialize into something like the Fire type could be very interesting. Persian, Ledian, I like Ledian's one of my favorite Pokemon, although it's unlikely to be used in VGC, of course. Sneasel, yeah, Magmar, Octillery is cool. Sniper Octillery with Water Spout. Oh, get some crazy damage with terrestrialization. Okay. Huh. That's a tricky one. I mean, that's all the information that we have. I've done my best to compile everything that we could possibly guess at. And now it's time to decide, right? Okay. Let's take a look. I'm sure it will come up if we search Pokemon, right? Surely. Sword and Shield. Brilliant Diamond. Shining Pearl. Snap. There it is. Double pack, Scarlet, or Violet. Yeah, I'm not getting both because I'm just not. So okay, so on the plus side for Scarlet, I think I actually like its model better when you're not riding it. But at the end of the day, you can have both, so it's not really that big of an issue. Violet definitely looks better when you're riding it, in my opinion. And that could be the biggest factor, to be honest with you. From a competitive side, based on the Pokemon that are confirmed to return and are very likely to be version exclusive, I've got to say that I'm leaning towards Scarlet on that front because Arcanine and Murkrow are sitting right there. In addition to things like Scizor and Scyther and some other ones. Violet has a lot of Pokemon that are potentially version exclusive that I really like Ludicolo, Lugia, Manectric, but the problem is none of those Pokemon are confirmed to be returning, and some of them are leaked to be not returning. So, also of the Pokemon that are confirmed to be version exclusive, so you've got Tyranitar and Stonejourner for Scarlet, and then you've got Salamence and Ice-Q in Pokemon Violet. And I personally like Ice-Q better than Stonejourner, and I think Ice-Q with Belly Drum and the terrestrialization effect could pair quite nicely, giving it access to something like Fighting Stab, for instance, or Ground Stab, which could be quite interesting. And that will be, of course, in Violet. And, of course, with Violet, you get Cerulege, which is probably one of the coolest Pokemon they've introduced in a long time. Oh. Honestly, in spite of how cool Cerulege is, I would pick Scarlet right now if Koraidon didn't have the wheel on its neck and on its crotch. If it didn't have that, I would pick Scarlet right now. I think that's decided it for me. I think we're going to go Violet. Primarily because I think Koraidon looks stupid with its wheel. Alright, man. Okay. It's done. We have chosen Pokemon Violet. What do you think? What do you choose, or what are you going to choose? Let me know down in the comments below. Of course, if you want, of course, you can choose Pokemon Scarlet, knowing that I have Pokemon Violet, and on stream on Saturdays, we can go ahead and trade over some version-exclusive Pokemon. That would be awesome with me, of course, and of course I could trade you some Pokemon. I don't mind taking some time to breed some version-exclusive Pokemon, or of course starter Pokemon and sending them over. So if that sounds like a good idea, go ahead and choose Scarlet. If the Koraidon model while riding bothers you like it does me, maybe Violet is the choice, and of course take the version-exclusive Pokemon into consideration. Don't take it too seriously, as it all is subject to be invalid once the game comes out, but it's all a matter of probability. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you in the Paldea region.